Hi, today I'm going to show you how to import invoices either as a CSV file or XLSX file with one invoice in the file or many in bulk in the file. So here we are in Freshbooks. This is our list of invoices. We're going to get one in here. Here's an example spreadsheet. You'll see here we have a column called invoice number. That is not required. If you don't have an invoice number column, it'll either pick the next invoice number in Freshbooks or it'll make sure the whole file's, and it'll make sure the whole file is just one invoice. If you have an invoice number column, you can make sure that you can group different invoices together. So this would be one invoice and this would be another if you have multiple invoice numbers. Cool. So you don't have to have all these columns. You can have some of these columns. The columns could be named something different because you're just going to map the file you have to what Freshbooks has, because what you want to do with Easy CSV is not touch the file. You just want to say, here's my file, Easy CSV, automatically import it to Freshbooks based off the mappings I put in place. So let's go look at the mappings at this point. So we're going to go into Easy CSV and we're going to make a new flow. We're going to say, I have a new file I'm going to upload from my computer. You can also email them as attachments. We can get them from FTP. So a lot of people need Easy CSV to automatically import invoices, either that are sent via email or put on a Google Drive or FTP server. We can do that. This video is just going to be about uploading files from your computer. There's plenty of things in the help docs showing how to have those automatic imports. Email be easy. I'll show you what that one is. If you need any help, just reach out to Easy CSV support via chat or email. So we can click upload. I've downloaded that Google Sheet as a spreadsheet here. You'll see these are the list of columns in the file. If there's any columns you don't care about, you can uncheck them, but normally you just leave them all checked. Click next. We're going to say, where do we want to send the data? We're going to send it to Freshbooks. In this case, we're just going to make invoices. We're going to be adding things like bills and purchase orders and transactions and payments and all that very shortly. So you might see a longer list here if you're doing it now. We're going to click finish. And you're dropped onto the mapping page. So on the left is all the Freshbooks fields for invoices. If they're bills or transactions, that'd be those fields on the left. On the right is the columns from your spreadsheet. So we're saying, hey, this invoice number column is the invoice number field in Freshbooks. Okay. Same with customer name. Easy CSV automatically detected these column names and said, hey, that looks like a company name. I'm going to map it to company name. You might have less automatically chosen, so you'll just open these drop downs and choose things. Like here, service and item name. I have to say, oh, the actual line item name they ordered is this column and the description of that is here. Not all of these are required, like we don't need tax stuff here. You don't need currency, for example. It will just, Freshbooks will take the default currency of your instance. So we'll save this, and now all the mappings are there. I don't have to touch the file. I can literally drag the file here and it should import. However, we need to connect our Freshbooks account. So I'm going to click that quick. And you'll get this permissions. You're going to click allow. And you'll land back on Easy CSV. So now we're actually ready to do the import. You'll see you'll get a custom email address here that you can either have emails that are sent to you automatically forwarded. You can set up a forwarding rule in your email, or you can give this email to clients or whatever automation you have. And if an email is sent to Easy CSV with an XLSX or a CSV file attached, it'll automatically be processed. In this case, we're just going to select it from our computer again and do an import. Now it gets into a queue, and so that queue waits, and then we pull a bunch of data from Freshbooks and then make the invoice. So what you can do is, refresh this page. You'll see at the bottom there's a log. This one actually processed immediately. It could say it's processing. It could take a while. You can walk away, come back, and you'll see it made that invoice in Freshbooks. It could take anywhere from no time to a couple minutes, depending on how big your Freshbooks instance is, how big the file is, how many things are in our queues, things like that. Let's go back to Freshbooks. You will have to refresh here. Freshbooks doesn't automatically update. Cool. This is the one we just imported, and you'll see everything's in there just like we thought. If there's any missing fields you need, please reach out to Easy CSV support. If there's any trouble you have getting the data in, reach out to Easy CSV support and send us an example file, in our chat or via email. We're happy to help you get this stuff in, because now that it's all set up, we can just drag the same file with the same columns all the time into this flow. And you have the email. If you need to set up automation, you can go to scheduled fetcher. And you can set up a scheduled fetcher to look for new files. You can say, hey, look for a new file every 10 to 20 minutes on FTP or on Google Drive, things like that. So you can do this in an automated way. So you don't have to constantly be uploading files. But, a lot of people just upload files monthly from their computer. Okay, please let us know if we can help.